Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hi everyone, my name is Yelith, and tonight I'm going to be teaching a 60-minute vinyasa flow for all levels. If you have my playlist, you can go ahead and start that now. We're going to start in Sukhasana or easy pose. Maybe elevating your hips on a blanket or block to allow your thighs to waterfall down towards the earth. Coming to sit up nice and tall, extending to the crown of your head. Open to your chest. Your shoulders roll back down your back. You start to tune into your breath. Deep inhales and full exhales. Taking a moment to check in with the body at the beginning of class today. And as you're ready, we'll start to cultivate an Ujjayi breath. If you know where you're going, feel free to go ahead. Otherwise, taking a deep breath into your nose and out through an open mouth as if you're fogging up a window. Eventually, lips close, and you find the same subtle tension in the back of the throat on both your inhales and your exhales. Breathing an audible breath to carry you through your practice, helping you connect the movement to the breath. Cultivating this breath in stillness now, so we can use it later as we power through this physical practice. As you're ready, maybe bringing hands to heart center if that feels good to you. I'll invite you here to set an intention for your practice. And then taking that intention and turning it into a mantra of just a few words. Maybe be present, be here. I am safe. I am enough. Whatever speaks to you this evening. My invitation to you is to use your mantra with your breath to connect the practice. Taking one more inhale and exhale to set that into place. And every time you come back with your hands at heart center, connecting back into that internal mantra and back into the breath. On your next exhale, allow your eyes to flutter open and hands release to your knees. Sit tall on your spine. We'll start by taking some simple sun breaths. Inhale to sweep arms overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. A few more like that. Inhale, arms up, as if you're gathering the sky. And exhale to bring your hands to your heart as if you're taking all the sun's energy and placing it right in your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take 2 more like that. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. And 1 more. Inhale, arms overhead. Hands to heart center. On your next inhale, find your hands behind your head. Let your head release gently into your hands, opening through your chest. And inhale. And exhale to round through your back, elbows reaching towards each other, chin towards our chest. We'll flow through that a few times. Inhale to open your elbows, open your chest. Exhale to round forward. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. Go ahead and release your hands. Inhale to bring your head back up to center. Now go ahead and take right arm over left, giving yourself a hug, wrapping yourself up in your arms. And on your exhale, releasing your chin to chest, rounding your back. Your inhale, find your hands clasped behind your back, taking a little bit deeper back bend and heart opening now. Stay for a breath. And exhale, taking your left arm now on top of your right. Wrap yourself up. Staying for a breath. Inhale, now finding the opposite clasp of your hands behind your back again, finding that subtle back bend. Maybe swaying a little bit from one side to the other to open your back up. One more inhale and exhale to release your hands to your sides. Bring your hands to heart center. Exhale to press away, rounding your back. And inhale to take a big morning stretch. Hands up overhead. Gaze can look at your fingers. Expanding up, lifting your rib cage. Inhale here, exhale, take a little side body stretch to the left. Hands energizing out. Inhale up through center and exhale over to the right side. Finding lots of length in your left side body. Got one more time to each side. Inhale through center and exhale to take a right side body stretch. Inhale and exhale to the other side. On your next inhale, coming up to center. Release the clasp of your hands, fingertips up to the sky. Stay here for an inhale. And on your exhale, find right hand to left knee, coming into a gentle twist. Gaze can look back over left shoulder. So think of rotating your pelvis back to the front of your mat. Breathing in to find more length in the spine and out to find even more of a rotation. Let's stay for a few more breaths. One more inhale, one more exhale. Inhale, bringing both hands up overhead. And now finding left hand to right knee on your exhale. Right hand goes back behind you, finding a twist. Breathing here. Again, can you rotate your pelvis back towards the front as you spiral shoulders towards the back of the space? Stay for one more inhale and one more exhale. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Diving over your feet, we'll come into tabletop pose. Moving any props out of the way. I'm gonna find Your wrists under your shoulders, knees under hips. And we'll start to move through some cat and cow. Inhale to drop your belly, open your shoulders. Extend through the crown of your head. Exhale to press the floor away, rounding your back, chin to chest. Inhale, opening through your chest. Extending forward. Finding length, pulling up in your tailbone. Exhale, press the floor away. Go ahead and take a few more rounds like that at your own breath pace. Maybe taking some additional movement of the spine, like C shapes or barrel rolls, or taking this anywhere else that feels good to you. Eventually, finding a moment of stillness in your tabletop. Come to find strength here. Pressing your finger pads into the floor to engage Hasta Bandha, as if you could create a little pocket of air under your palms. Using that strength in your hands and wrists to spiral all the way up to your shoulders, finding extra support. And then also finding Uddiyana Bandha, scooping your navel up to your spine, keeping your head long. Keep all of this strength here. Tuck your toes back behind you. Stay for an inhale, and exhale to press the floor away and hover knees. Inhale and exhale. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. Take one more inhale. Exhale to release knees down to the mat. Take a little cow for a counter pose. Inhale and exhale, coming back. Press the floor away, hover your knees. Tune into your Ujjayi breath. Inhale, exhale, release the knees again. Finding a little cow as a counter pose. Taking one more inhale, exhale, hovering your knees again, engaging Hasta Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Stay for an inhale. And exhale to press back, downward facing dog. Release your head to neutral. Feet are hips width distance apart at the back of your mat. Still engaging that Hasta Bandha, pressing your finger pads down into the floor. And from here, take a little movement. Whatever feels good, maybe pedaling your feet, rotating one knee and the other across your mat, or maybe looking under one shoulder and then the other. Or maybe taking a deep bend in both knees, allowing hips to dial up towards the sky. Eventually come to find a moment of stillness. Inhale to rise up high onto your toes, look to the front of your mat, and at the bottom of your exhale, make tiny steps between your hands to a forward fold, Uttanasana. Release here. Find opposite hand to opposite elbow for Ragdoll Pose, and take a moment to sway from one side to another. Head, neck, shoulders heavy to the mat. Breath is flowing. Eventually releasing your hands to the mat, deeply bend your knees and slowly roll up to standing. Rolling your shoulders up, back and down your spine. Open to your heart. Start by taking a couple sun A's. So inhale here. Exhale to fold forward, bending your knees deeply. Release your head, neck, shoulders, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten your back, engage Uddiyana Bandha. Exhale to fold. Excuse me, I meant classical sun salutation. Take a large right step back into a runner's lunge, coming to fingertips, maybe to blocks. Sun A's are gonna come next. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to release knee and foot to the ground. Inhale, arms overhead for knee down crescent. Exhale, finding hands behind your head, clasping. And let your head relax into your hands. Finding a back bend. We'll stay for a few breaths. Can you energetically press into your head with your hands, opening your chest even more? Take one more inhale here. And one more exhale. Inhale, brings arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to the mat. Energize through your back leg and step back to plank pose. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale to release knees and feet to the mat and slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Replace your hands under your shoulders. Inhale to peel up off the mat, Cobra Pose. Tractioning hands back towards your hips to open through your heart space. Exhale, release down to the mat. Inhale through tabletop and exhale, downward facing dog. Stay for a breath in downward facing dog. Inhale to lift right leg up off the mat and exhale, take a large right step forward between your hands. Plant your left hand onto the floor or on fingertips or a block. And inhale to bring your right arm through your heart and extend up overhead, finding a twist. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, hand meets the mat. Deeply bend your back knee and step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, ground through your feet, rise up, hands overhead, Urdhva upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take the same thing to the other side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, deeply bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, take a large left step back, runner's lunge. Coming to fingertips, maybe to blocks, open your shoulders, stay for an inhale. And exhale to release knee and foot to the earth. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, clasp your hands behind your head. Let your head release into your hands. Finding a deeper back bend. With gentle resistance between the head and hands. Stay for an inhale and an exhale. An inhale lifts arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the mat. Energize through your back leg and take a step back into plank pose. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, release knees and feet to the mat. And slowly lower chest, chin, and belly to the mat. Replace hands. Inhale, peeling up off the mat, Cobra Pose. Exhale, coming back down to your belly. Inhale through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here, allowing heart to melt through your arms. On your next inhale, raising left leg up off the mat. Exhale to take a large left step forward into a runner's lunge. Plant your right hand on the floor on a block. Inhale to open through your left arm, finding a twist. Breathing here. Savor one more inhale. Exhale, right, left hand comes back to the mat, step back, plank pose. Inhale to step left leg forward, deeply bend right leg, and take a larger light step forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Let your head release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're gonna move into some sun A's. Building on variations of that vinyasa flow. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down through heart center as you bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, step back, plank pose. Option to continue with knees down, cobra, or shift forward over your hands and slowly lower so your chest is hovering over the mat. Inhale, flipping over your feet, coming to upward facing dog. Thighs remain up off the ground. Exhale, pressing back to downward facing dog. Eventually finding your downward facing dog for a few breaths. Inhale to rise up high onto your toes, look to the front of your mat and step or float between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead, grounding through feet. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take one more like that. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center, deeply bending your knees. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. On your inhale, step back to plank or float to chaturanga. Taking your vinyasa, knees down, cobra or chaturanga, upward facing dog. Eventually finding downward facing dog. Take a moment of breath here. Release your neck. Inhale to rise up high onto your toes, look to the front of your mat, and at the bottom of your exhale, step or float between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ground through your feet. Inhale, arms overhead, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Moving into a variation of sun B. Deeply bend your knees, fingertips point towards the floor. Feet are at hips width distance. Inhale, arms up overhead, finding chair pose. Exhale, sinking your hips a little bit deeper. Inhale, finding a little bit more length. We'll stay for one more breath. In and out. Inhale, exhale, hands through heart center. Deeply bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, step to plank or float to chaturanga. We take a vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Eventually coming to downward facing dog for a few breaths. Inhale to float, right leg up off the mat. And exhale to take a large right step forward between your hands. Spiral your back heel down. We're coming into warrior one. Inhale, arms up overhead. Fierce warrior. Exhale, goal, push your arms, opening through your chest. Come to find your hands clasped behind your back. Taking another back bend here. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to fold over your front leg, coming into humble warrior. Release your head and neck. Keeping a micro bend in your back knee to support those joints. Maintaining strength in your legs in this pose. Inhale, arms sweep up, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat. Dial your back toes down. Bend into your back knee and take a large left step forward to the front of your mat. Release head, neck, and shoulders to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Grounding through your feet. Inhale, rise up, arms overhead. Upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking that to the other side, deeply bend your knees, fingertips circle down and up. Coming into chair pose. Inhale for length. Exhale to sink a little deeper. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Inhale one more time. Exhale, release everything down. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Coming to fingertips or hands to legs. Exhale to fold, step back to plank or float to chaturanga. Taking your vinyasa. Eventually finding downward facing dog for a few breaths. Pressing into fingertips, heels reaching towards the floor. Hips dial up to the sky. On your next inhale, float left leg up off the ground, and exhale to take a large left step forward between your hands. Dial right heel down. Inhale to rise up, warrior one. Breathe here. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to goal post your arms, opening through your chest. Now finding your hands crossed behind your back again. Trying to find the opposite clasp of your hands. Inhale, finding a back bend. Squeezing shoulder blades together. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to fold over your front leg. Humble warrior. Release your head and neck as you let gravity pull your arms gently over your head. Breath is full, legs are strong. Inhale to brush arms up overhead. Warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat. Dial back toes down to runner's lunge. Bend into your back knee and take a large right step forward to the front of your mat. Release your head, neck, shoulders. Let everything go. Maybe nod your head back and forth, saying yes or no, opening your jaw and closing your jaw a few times, letting everything release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Root through your feet. Inhale, arms overhead, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Stay for a breath. Finding grounding in both of your feet. Inhale, arms overhead, upward salute. Exhale, bend through your knees, hands come through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, coming to fingertips or hands to legs. Exhale to fold, step back to plank or float to chaturanga. We'll take a vinyasa here, meeting in downward facing dog. Eventually taking a few breaths in downward facing dog. Stay here for a minute. And on your next exhale, release your knees down to the floor. We're gonna come into rabbit pose for a few breaths. So if you join me coming into embryo pose, find your hands to your heels of your feet, releasing into the earth. If this is calling you to stay here, this is a great place to stay. Letting your shoulders spill open. Taking in breath. But if you'd like to come towards rabbit pose, tucking your head so that you roll up onto the crown of your head. Keeping your hands linked on your feet. Maybe you come to tuck your toes if that makes it easier to grip. Feeling a stretch through your shoulders and upper back. My invitation to you here is to engage your Uddiyana Bandha, scooping your core up towards your heart. Thinking of pulling these energetically towards your head. As you're here, thinking of your head on the earth. If you are going into a headstand, trying to find that flat part of your head on the earth. Often closer to your forehead than you'd think. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. Stay here, one more inhale. Exhale to release hips down. Coming back into embryo pose. Take a moment to release your neck. Letting everything go here. And as you're ready, extend arms out in front of you, rolling up to tabletop pose. And we press back, downward facing dog. Take a moment for any conscious movement in your downward facing dog. And when you're ready, walk your feet together at the back of your mat. Inhale. Right leg comes up overhead, finding a puff of air under left armpit. Hip stack on top of hip. Pressing the floor away, weight even in both hands. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale to take a large right step forward in between your mat, finding your foot right in the middle of your mat. Rotate your back foot open so that front heel is in line with the back midfoot. Deeply bend into front knee. Inhale to rise, exhale to settle, warrior two. Finding strong legs. Allow your tailbone to drop down your spine. Stay for a breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale two. Sinking a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale three. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, arms up overhead, straightening through front knee. Exhale to brush your shoulders, pressing back at warrior two. We'll flow through that 4 more times. Inhale, arms overhead, luxuriating, fast bathing yourself in energy. Exhale to press out, warrior two. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. You have 2 more. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale, warrior two. This time, inhale, arms overhead. Turn your right foot towards the side of your mat and heel toe your feet slightly together. Come to kick both of your toes out so that your hips are coming open, arms up overhead. Exhale to bend into your knees, bending elbows into cactus arms. We're coming to goddess pose. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 2, keeping your gaze up. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, straighten through your arms and legs as hands come up to upward salute. Turn your feet towards the front of your mat and exhale. Arms come through heart center to fold forward into Prasarita, Patanasana. Wide-legged forward fold. From here, you have options. Maybe your forehead or the crown of your head comes to touch the earth. And from there, extending arms to either side, to either ankle. Maybe play with shifting a tiny bit of weight into your head and back into your feet. Just noticing how that feels. Not going up into headstand yet. Just kind of playing with a feeling of compression on your neck. And again, trying to find that flat place on your head. Releasing your shoulders away from your ears. As you're ready, come to find your hands back to the center in between your legs. Come to walk your hands over to your right leg, turning it to the front of your mat, and dial back, toes down, coming into a runner's lunge. Inhale to step back to plank. Take a chaturanga to upward dog or knees down cobra. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Take a moment in downward facing dog with neutralizing breath. You can stay facing the front of your mat. I'm going to turn so you can see me to the other side. Inhale to lift left leg up off the mat. Hip stack on top of hip. Before you lift your leg off the mat, step your feet together. The back of your mat to give you more stability and to balance right and left side body. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale to take a large left step forward between your hands, finding your knee stacked on top of your ankle. Rotate back foot down so that front heel is in line with back midfoot. Inhale to rise, exhale to settle, warrior two. Pressing the back edge of your back foot down into the mat. Finding strength in your legs. We'll stay here for an inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Breathing here. And as you're ready, inhale to straighten front knee. Arms up overhead. Exhale to brush your shoulders. Press back out. Strong warrior two. Taking that 4 more times. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale, brushing through your shoulders. Exhale, sink back down, warrior two. You think of tucking your tailbone under you. Inhale to rise. Exhale, press back out, warrior two, two more. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. This time, inhale, turning left toes to the front of your mat, to the side of your mat. Take a moment to heel toe your legs a little bit closer together so that you're in a comfortable stance. Toes point out to the sides of your mat, to the corners. Arms are up overhead. Exhale to sink down, goddess pose. Practicing arms open through your chin. If you can feel the light on your chest, inhale. Exhale, one. Inhale. Exhale, two. Inhale. Exhale, three. Inhale. Exhale, four. Inhale. Exhale, five. Inhale, straighten through legs and arms. Turn your feet to face the front of your mat. Exhale, hands come through heart center, fold forward. Prasarita, Patanasana. Release your head, neck, shoulders down to the floor. Maybe finding, again, a little bit of weight into the crown of your head. As you're ready, hands come back to the mat at the center. Turn your left toes to face the front of your mat and walk your hands over to frame your left foot. Take a large left step back into plank pose. And we suspend there. Breathing into this pose for inhale and exhale. As you're ready, coming down onto forearm plank. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. So you're ready, shoot your hips up and back. Walking your feet in, coming towards Dolphin Pose. Thinking downward facing dog, except on your elbows. Opening your shoulders even more. Allow your heart to melt through towards your thighs. From here, we're going to move into variations with headstand. If you are comfortable doing a headstand in the center of the space, go ahead and do that. And if you know where you're going, take whatever you need here. My recommendation is to find your mat or a blanket near a wall just to make sure that you don't fall over. Then finding that same place that we were exploring earlier in the crown of your head, towards the front of your head, onto the mat, cradling your head with your hands. Elbows are strong, pressing into the earth. As you come up into kind of a dolphin variation here, hips pressing up. And from there, maybe you kick off and suspend, knowing that the wall is there. Coming in and out of the pose as much as you would like. Can you think of pressing your elbows down to the floor to stabilize your shoulders? Trying to come through a tuck position can help you to stabilize the pose so that your legs aren't flailing and throwing you off balance as much. Maybe eventually extending legs up. Can you think of pulling your shoulders up away from your ears and engaging your core? Play for a few more breaths. Keep playing for as long as you'd like. As you're ready, we'll meet on your mat. Finding rock pose. Coming to sit up tall on your knees. We're going to move into a few rounds of camel pose. If this isn't calm to you and you'd prefer to take a bridge variation, go for that. Otherwise, finding your hands to your lower back. Press your lower back down, finding a little bit of traction as you start to bend backwards. Hands release at the same time, going towards your heels. And then maybe head releases back. Think of shifting hips forward, making sure all of your movement is symmetrical. This will help you with future wheel and drop backs. Breathing here. To come out, hip shift forward, arm shoot front. Coming up to kneel. We'll take that 2 more times at your own pace. Finding hands to your lower back. Inhale, finding length. And exhale to release back. Releasing both hands at the same time. Releasing your neck back. Stay for a breath here. On your inhale, hips and arms shoot forward, coming up. And we'll take that 1 more time. Again, finding yourself sitting up tall underneath. Hands come to the lower back. Inhale to find the length. Exhale to bend backwards. Hands release at the same time to camel pose. Breathe here. On your next inhale, hips and hands bring you up. Exhale to sit down onto your heels, resisting any urge to round through your back. Take your knees out wide to the edges of your mat. Sink your hips down. Walk your hands forward into a wide-legged child's pose. Neutralizing your spine. Breathe here. Let your forehead massage into the air. Breath is still flowing and deep. As you're ready, press into your knees, roll up, coming through tabletop, coming to sit, coming back to Sukhasana here. Take a moment to sit up tall, roll your shoulders down your back, opening through your heart. As you're ready, extend right leg out in front of you. Left foot comes to the inside of your right knee. Anywhere along the leg that's accessible to you. For a seated tree pose. On your inhale, come to walk your fingers forward, extending through your chest, keeping your back straight. Only bending as far forward as you can keep a straight back and an open chest. Breathing here. Press your right heel into the mat to activate the stretch, finding a little bit of resistance. Breathe. One more inhale, finding a little bit of extra length through your chest. And exhale to round over your leg. Hands can clasp around your foot. Letting go of your head, neck, and shoulders. Hands can go anywhere that's accessible to you. As you're ready, press back into your hands, slowly coming up to seated. We're going to come into a full pigeon, crossing and stacking right shin over left shin. If this is too intense, maybe coming into another hip opener, such as half lotus, or any variation with your right leg crossed over your left. As you inhale, walking your hands forward, again, straightening through your back, only walking as far as you can keep a straight back. Opening through your chest. Press your foot down into your knee to activate the stretch. And breathe. Stay here for one more inhale. And exhale to round through your back, releasing head, neck, shoulders. Let the weight of gravity pull you deeper into the stretch. Maintaining some activation in those muscles by pressing your right foot down into your left knee. Breath is flowing. On your next inhale, finding some energy back into your arms and slowly walk back up to seated. Bring your hands back behind you to release your legs out in front of you. Take a moment to bounce your knees, noticing differences between right and left side body. And as you're ready, we'll move to take that to the other side, bringing right foot into the side of your left. And to sit up nice and tall, and on your inhale, starting to walk fingers forward. Open through your chest, pulling it forward towards your foot. Breath is flowing as you open through your chest. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale to round through your back, release your head, neck, and shoulders. Hands can go anywhere that's accessible to you. Press your left heel into the mat to activate the stretch. And breathe. On your inhale, bring some weight into your hands and slowly walk back up to sit. Coming to cross left shin over right for full pigeon. Sitting up nice and tall, come to walk your fingers forward, keeping a straight back. Open through your chest, breathing here. Breathe in and out, opening through your chest and shoulders. Maybe thinking of rotating your biceps forward to help initiate that movement. Inhale here, exhale to fold forward, releasing your head and neck down. Let the weight of gravity take you deeper into the stretch as you press left ankle into right knee. And breathe. As you're ready, bring the weight back into your hands to come up to sit. Hands come back behind you to extend both legs in front of you. The knees a little shake, massaging your legs against the floor. And we're coming up towards Dandasana, sitting up nice and tall, hands to either side of you, feet are flexed. Inhale to start walking your hands forward. Extend through your chest. Again, only as far as you can keep a straight back, an open chest. Press your heels down, activating the back of your legs. Breath is flowing. Stay for one more inhale. And exhale to fold forward. Hands can come wherever they're accessible, letting your head release down towards the mat. On your inhale, press into your hands, walking up to sit. We're moving into Uttanasana, wide angle pose. Take your legs wide, only as far as is comfortable for you. Opening the inner thighs. Come to sit up nice and tall, feet are flexed. And again, inhale to carefully walk your hands forward. Keeping a straight back, extending through your heart. Breathing here. Breathing here, opening your chest for one more inhale. Exhale to release elbows, maybe coming down to the earth. Maybe bringing forehead down to the earth or to a block. If it feels good to you, taking arms out in front of you, maybe. Only if it feels good though. Be here for just a few more breaths. As you're ready, inhale to bring weight back into your hands, coming up to sit. Release, take your hands behind you, releasing your feet back in front. And we'll slowly roll down to your back. Scoop your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze, rocking back and forth, up and down your spine. As you're ready, shift your hips a couple inches to the right and let your knees slowly release over to the left side of your body for our reclined twist. After legs have stopped moving, head can turn over your right palm. Right shoulder is heavy to the mat. Letting this pose ring out your spine. Releasing the practice that we just did. You feel how your breath feels differently in this twist. As your belly expands in all directions. On your next inhale, turn your gaze back up to the sky. Pull your knees tightly into your chest as you slowly roll back onto your back. Now readjusting, taking your hips a couple inches to the left. Slowly release your knees over to the right. And eventually, maybe gaze shifts over left hand. Left shoulder is heavy to the mat. Releasing into the pose. Keeping your breath full, letting each exhale release a little bit deeper into the twist. On your next inhale, gaze shifts back up to the sky, pulling your knees into your chest as you slowly release back onto your back. Release your knees, feet to the floor, neutralize your hips. And bring your knees into your chest one more time, giving them one more tight squeeze, maybe head coming off the mat, coming into a tiny bowl. And eventually come to release, legs out long. Roll your shoulder blades down your spine, palms come to face up. Take an inhale here, and on an exhale, close your eyes. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm as we settle into Shavasana. Take a moment to check in with your body, noticing if there's any way you can relax a little bit deeper here. Relax the muscles in your forehead, muscles behind your eyes, your jaw, shoulders. Let it all go. And eventually, release all focus entirely and just be here. Allowing the earth to hold you. Your body to surrender. Accept yourself as a work in progress, then continue to build yourself into the person you're dreaming to be, the person you have all the potential to be. Accept your flaws, accept your truths, accept your paths, and make light of them. No one can tear you down if you make peace with who you are and where you've been. You are going to focus on the negatives at all. Focus on turning them into positives. Focus on growing. Sometimes, oftentimes, our minds are the scariest place to sit. It'll trick you into comparing yourself to others, and it'll trick you into believing you aren't good enough, but you are. You have always been, and you always will be. You're much more powerful when you believe in yourself. If you don't love all of you, who will? Give yourself time to blossom. As you're ready, start to deepen your breath. Start to invite subtle movement back into the body, wiggling fingers and toes, circling ankles and wrists. Maybe rolling your head back and forth along the mat or taking a big morning stretch. Eventually coming to roll onto your right side, using your right arm as a pillow. And a moment on your side here of gratitude to yourself for showing up on your mat today, to your body for carrying you through this practice, and for this practice and everything that it has to offer us on and off the mat. As you're ready, press into your left hand and come up to a comfortable seat. Hands can come to your knees, or if you'd like to join me, bringing hands to heart center. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. If you'd like to join me, bringing thumb knuckles up to third eye center, we'll seal this practice with the blessing of Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for your practice.